Hello, everyone, and welcome to Durrett's Take. It's time to go over my updated NFL projections. After 4 games have passed by, there's some things that are, kind of hard to predict because you don't know if they're going to be, just a rough start and they'll get things together, or if there's like a trend that's going to continue throughout the season. But let's go ahead and start with the AFC East. I still have Buffalo winning the division at 13-4. I know they have a bad run game. I know they have some injuries in the secondary, but they're still a really, really good team. And I just feel like also their schedule kind of sets up to where they should win a lot of games as well. Miami is next. I have them going 11-6, which is a little bit better than what I originally predicted before the season started, because I thought they were 9-18, basically, maybe 10-7. But even though I still think there's a ceiling with this team, I do like the start that they were on with two and all that. And they got the impressive wins against the Bills and Ravens, even though those are both games they should have lost, but they got to give them the credit where the credit's due. They won the games. So therefore, I feel like they have earned themselves to be in the wild card hunt. Next, you get the New York Jets at 8-9. I have them 7-10, which I can still see. So basically, kind of the same thing. But I definitely like what I've seen for Zach Wilson that fourth quarter against the Steelers. If he can just kind of continue that trajectory, then the Jets are going to be good. But if he kind of falls back to what he was like in the third quarter, where he's just super up and down, not that good, then the Jets might have a similar record to last year. But I do think they are a better team overall than the New England Patriots, which I have sitting at 6-11 right now. I mean, the New England can run the ball well, and their defense is is not bad at all. But I mean, not great like it once was, but not bad. But just again, quarterback troubles right now with injuries and inefficiencies, and just not a lot of weapons to go around. I just don't trust New England and their offense. Next, you got the AFC South. I still have Cincinnati winning the division at 11-6, kind of where I thought they would be. And they had a rough start, but now I feel like they're gonna, with the win against Miami, and then if they can beat the Ravens this Sunday, I feel like they're on that trajectory where they'll start winning a lot of games and get on a roll. Baltimore, I have at 10-7. The only reason why they're not higher is because their pass defense is just the worst in the NFL. It's just that bad, and I don't. That's one of those things where I don't think that's just a beginner season type of thing. I feel like that's going to be a trend going forward. Next, I have Pittsburgh and Cleveland tied at both for 6-11. Just Pittsburgh, their offense is just not going to get it done. I like that they moved to Kenny Pickett now, but it's just the schedule's too hard, and he's a rookie. I feel like it's going to take him a while to figure things out. And as far as Cleveland goes, again, with Deshaun Watson being out for most of the season, and the fact that Cleveland's already lost to two teams that they shouldn't be in, it's just I don't trust them to make the playoffs. Next, you got the AFC South. Now, I was obviously very wrong about my Colts winning this division prediction. That was one of the most things I was wrong about going into the season so far. So now I'm going to have the hot team in Jacksonville win this division barely. I have Jacksonville, Tennessee actually tied at 98, but Jacksonville had the tiebreaker. I just feel like that offense is really, really good. Doug Pearson's done his job in making that offense better. Their defense is inconsistent, but there's definitely some good spots. Their D line is pretty good. They have a few good linebackers and stuff like that. So while they're still missing, some pieces from being great, they're definitely way better than they are last year. And Tennessee, they, of course, with Vrabel and the veteran leadership of Derrick Henry and Tannehill, all that, they're gonna be in contention. But I just feel like not having a bona fide number one wide receiver. Robert Woods is a 2, not a 1, but not like a clear number one wide receiver. They have some online injuries right now, and I just don't trust their secondary to get the job done against a really good team. So that's why I have them second. And then I have the Colts at 4-12-1. Yeah, it's just totally flipped from what I had them when I was thinking 12-5 or 11-6, But it just the Colts have a battle line, and they besides Michael Pittman Jr. and it's like they don't really have a lot of weapons, especially with Jonathan Taylor not running the ball well like we all thought he would after last year. So I just kind of a bad combination for an immobile old quarterback. So I just don't like the direction they're going. And then Houston, they might get one more win, but it'll be like 115-1. It's not that good. I mean, they'll be in contention with a lot of games because it's the NFL and they have some talent here and there, but it's just I think they'll be the worst team. Next, you get the AFC West. I got Kansas City now winning division instead of the Broncos. Again, one of those, oof ones where I was wrong there. I had them going 12-5. They'll have a couple losses here and there because it's the NFL, but as they showed against the Bucks, when they're on, they're on. Next, I have the LA Chargers at 11-6. I know they have some injury concerned and all that. But because Denver and Vegas have kind of not lived up there in the bargain of being pretty good, it kind of makes room for the Chargers, to be second in that division, basically, kind of by default. Next, I have the Denver Broncos at 8-9, and the Las Vegas Raiders at 7-10. Just, Denver's offense is just going to be bad. I feel like they're just waiting for the season to fire Nathaniel Hackett at this point. He's just not the right coach for them. And then Las Vegas, it's tough to overcome a 1-3 start, especially since the schedule's not getting easier for them, despite getting their first win last week. So I had them missing the playoffs. And then in the AFC overall, you would have Buffalo 13-4 is the 1 seed, Kansas City 12-5 is the 2 seed, Cincinnati 11-6 is the 3 seed, Jacksonville 9-8 is the 4 seed, and then for the wild cards, I have the LA Chargers at 11-6 as the 5 seed. They'll have the tiebreaker over Miami, who's 11-6, will have the 6 seed, and then Baltimore will be the last seed, 7 seed at 10-7. So basically, Tennessee would be the first team out, or whoever gets second AFC South will be the first team out, and then the Jets and Broncos will be the next teams out after that. Next, in the NFC East, I have Philadelphia going 15-2, and that's only because I feel like at the end of the season, since they're clearly the number 1 seed, they're just going to rest starters and all that, and there'll be a loss here and there. I do have them split against Dallas, but then maybe they'll lose their final game of the season, because they'll play a bunch of backups, like I was just saying. So it just their schedule's super easy. Besides the Packers and the Cowboys, and maybe like the Titans, there's just they already faced Jacksonville, and there's just and the Vikings and one. There's just not a lot of hard opponents on the schedule, so they kind of get the first seed by default to an easy schedule. Next, I got Dallas at 12-5. I thought they were going to be like 9-8-10-7, but it turns out, because they've been able to win Cooper Rush and their defense is that good, better than I thought they were going to be. Turns out they do have a decent team. Now, again, playoffs, I'm not trusting them, but it looks like they could definitely go back to the playoffs even if they don't win the division. New York Giants, I have at 6-11, which is a little bit better than where I thought they were going to be. Brian Dable's doing a good job there, building the culture, getting Saquon Barkley back to his old self and all that. They're just a quarterback away from being relevant. Then Washington, I have a 2-15, just not good. Bad O-line, once it's just too turnover prone. The defense is not doing a good job. Like with the defensive head coach, just not a good sign. And I go look there for Washington. Next, the NFC North, I have Minnesota still winning the division at 12-5. I know they haven't looked pretty so far, but again, due to the easiness of the schedule going forward, I do feel like they can still win the division. And if they can win at Green Bay, then therefore they get the tiebreak over Green Bay, which I have next at 11-6. Again, easy schedule. That's why they're going to make the playoffs. They're facing a harder schedule like the AFC West people, and then I wouldn't say so, but because Aaron Rodgers and the run game will get it done to at least get them in a wild card hunt. Detroit I have next at 6-11, a fun 6-11 team, like super good offensively, but just their defense, it's just not where it needs to be in order to compete. And last, Chicago at 4-13, just their offense is that bad. It's just horrible. And I don't see them winning a lot more games by scoring in the teens. Next, NFC South, I have Tampa Bay at 13-4. I know they've just lost 2 in a row, but I do feel like as players start to get healthy and things will get back on track from Tampa Bay, plus they're in the easy division. Next, I got the Saints at 7-10, so I was way off on this projection as well. Just they have too many penalties, which is usually the case with them actually, but they also giving the ball away way too much, which is usually not the case. But then also I was just wrong that Jameis Winston, like I know he had good numbers last year before he got hurt, but that just shows that was a Sean Payton thing, and Jameis Winston's reverting back to his old self, So he's just not the answer at quarterback. And then also Dennis Allen's not looking that great either as a head coach. So it looks like they may have potentially had the wrong hire there. We'll see. Next, I got Atlanta at 6-11. They're definitely keeping things close to teams, and they're definitely looking good, at least offensively wise. So they're one of those kind of like the Lions, a fun and interesting 6-11 team. I definitely like the direction they're going. The Carolina at 2-15, just I don't like the direction they're going. Matt Rule should be fired in the year, and this is last year's for Baker Mayfield to start. And last but not least, the NFC West. I have San Francisco winning the division this year. Now, again, if Trey Lance was starting the whole year, I wouldn't have said that, but now with Jimmy G back and the fact that he could be a good game manager to get things done, and that San Francisco has a top 2 defense in the league, that's why I'm going 49ers to win division here at 13-4. Next, I get the LA Rams at 9-8. I know it's a little bit of a drop off from when they were last year, but just, Allen Robinson hasn't been living up to the hype. They don't have Odell anymore. Van Jefferson's been on IR for a while. Von Miller's obviously gone, but the biggest things are O-line. It's just whether it's injuries or people leaving, is just not good. So Stafford's getting pressured too much. If Stafford can only throw to Cooper Cup or the tight end Higbee, and that's pretty much it. It's like there's not a recipe for a Super Bowl winning team to get back there. So originally, I was going to have the Rams get back to the Super Bowl at the least, if not make the NC change again. But now I'm kind of down in that. Next, we got Arizona next to 8 and 9. Just those, I mean, they can beat the easy teams with rough first quarter, second quarter starts, but just it's not a recipe for success. Like if they're going to keep on doing that, that's going to cost them a playoff spot despite the talent and despite DeAndre Hopkins eventually coming back. And then last but not least, I have Seattle at 4-13. Again, I'm not buying to the hype right now. They're a decent team, but I'm not buying to the hype of them being all of a sudden a mediocre 500 team. I'm not doing that quite yet. So to review, I have Philadelphia as the 1 seed, 15-2. I have San Francisco as the 2 seed, 13-4, with the tiebreaker over Tampa Bay, who I have as 13-4 as well as the 3 seed. Minnesota at 4th at 12-5. Dallas will be the first wild card spot, 12-5. Green Bay will be the next wild card spot, 11-6. And then Rams will be the last wild card spot at 9-8. And then Arizona would be the first team out at 8-9. So thank you very much for listening to my predictions today. Please subscribe to my channel to learn about me. Thank you very much, and you all have a wonderful weekend of watching football. Thank you.